Hey folks, it's Marion here, and tonight I'm going back to Toastmasters and re-giving my icebreaker speech. For anyone that was ever involved in Toastmasters, the icebreaker speech is the first speech in the Competent Communicator Manual. And when I left Toastmasters, I was one signature away from DTM, but it's been 4 years, and in the words of Stephen Covey, I need to sharpen the saw. So I am going to start over in Toastmasters with the Competent Communicator Manual again. And the way to start that is the icebreaker. And since I wanted to practice my speech before I go tonight, what better way than to make it my blog post for today? So, fellow members, I give you a whole new me. Common folklore would have us believe that every 7 years, all our cells in our bodies are replaced, and essentially, we're brand new people. I can't attest to the whole science or psychology of becoming a whole new person, but I can tell you since the last time that I stood before a Toastmasters group and gave my icebreaker speech, I do feel like a whole new person. At least my situations and circumstances are. In 2002, when I gave my first icebreaker speech, I was happily married to Joe. I had 3 children, Bill, who was 12, and Jen and Nikki, who were 7. And we had a beagle named Daisy. Well, today, Bill is graduated. He is a tech support engineer and out on his own in his own apartment. The girls are seniors, and many of you may even remember when I used to drag them around to speech contests and other events with me. They were little and cute, and now they're big and beautiful. Daisy, unfortunately, has left us, as did Joe. I think they're both up in heaven laughing down at us because now, instead of just the 4 of us that would have been left behind, it's the girls and I, along with 3 cats, Samson, Jiffy, and Spooner, although Spooner does think he's one of the dogs, and 2 dogs, Bleezy and Kiefer, who are lab pit cuddly monsters. They're a little over a year old now. We got them a year ago Christmas time. My career's undergone a great metamorphosis as well. It's been kind of weird these last 10 years. I started in 2002, right before I joined Toastmasters at M&T Bank as a project manager. And I was an independent consultant with Mary Kay at that time. In fact, being part of Mary Kay was part of why I joined Toastmasters. It just seemed like I should be getting out and talking to people and honing my communication skills if I was going to be able to go out and talk to other women. Things change. I did rise to Vice President of Information Security at M&T. I was the people side of a very techy department. And either fortunately or unfortunately, time will prove it out, through the time fighting Joe's disease, a merger with another bank, a manager that came from that merger that I personally couldn't stand. And for the 6 months he was there, he really seemed to dislike me a whole lot too. And finally, a need to reduce staff, my position was declared redundant. I say unfortunately because I wasn't ready to take the leap of faith to be fully self-employed. I say fortunately because I needed a shove in the right direction. No, I'm not with Mary Kay anymore either. I found out I didn't like dealing with inventory. In fact, I was pretty awful at it. Invariably, I'd put in an order for inventory, get an order the day after that included something I hadn't ordered, and then have to go scrounging with someone else. It was costing me more to fill people's orders than I was actually earning on it. What I did find with Mary Kay, though, was the something more they talked about. I loved working with the people. I loved the self-improvement classes you got to go to. And I loved being able to bring that information home and share it with my kids and others. Before Joe had gotten sick, I had started to develop a second career online as a life coach, using the internet to reach a wider audience than you would if you were just trying to set up a local practice of sorts. I did all the research, I took a class on it, I put up my website, and I quickly learned that just putting up a website does not mean that people will automatically flock to it. Well, I've learned a lot since then and now, enough to fill volumes. I'm just going to skip everything I've learned at this point because that will be the subject of many more speeches to come. And I hope to really give you some great insights into what it is to work online and develop a whole new career. So we'll just skip to what I'm currently doing, my current resume. Throughout the roller coaster ride of the last several years, from knowing Joe was sick, to getting him diagnosed, to fighting the disease called amyloidosis, my core values have remained unshaken. These include family, integrity, and education. As I learned about working online and built my new career, I looked for opportunities that would honor these values. It's kind of odd because even back in the Mary Kay days, empower was a big word and a big concept. Mary Kay was all about empowering women. I belonged to the Junior League, and that was another empowering organization that dealt with and taught people, especially women, predominantly women, to go out and become volunteers and lead projects in their own community. Today, that theme has blossomed even more. I am a member of the Empower Network. Its base product is an authority blog, which provides me with a platform to reach out with my message of success theories to other people. I have a weekly internet show called Living Wealthy with Marion. Every Wednesday at 7, I invite you to stop by. I'll give anyone that wants it later the URL. It's free, it's online. I show others that want to follow in my footsteps the tools that have worked for me. In 2013, I had 2 additional companies to my portfolio. During the time that Joe had been sick, I contended with my own health challenges of a thyroid gone wild. The removal of my thyroid, coupled with everything else going on, gave me the perfect set of excuses to end up terribly out of shape. That needs to end. I joined forces with 7-minute workout for exercise and Life Force for nutritional supplements and high-tech weight loss. I stand here before you, happy, healthy, and 30 pounds lighter than I was. I still have a ways to go, but I have plenty of time. The adventures of getting fit will give me more stories to add to my repertoire to educate, entertain, and inspire you. Because I am back, and I'm glad to be here. Mr. Toastmaster. Well, there you go, folks. That's my speech for tonight. Hope you liked it, and I'll let you know how it goes when it's all over.